Eskimo Brothers here, episode 14, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Eskimo Squad.
You took the words right out of my mouth. So this is a classic. Everyone should know the basic concept. Freddy Krueger stalking and killing teenagers in their dreams.
Yeah, that's about it.
Which to me is a great concept. Because it's finally a killer you cannot run from.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Friday the 13th where you could be like, well, just don't go to that lake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can't not sleep. You're gonna have to confront him. I think that what makes A Nightmare on Elm Street my favorite horror franchise. What else? It sets up a character named Tina at the beginning it makes you think that's going to be the main character.
Yeah, there was some good trickery involved there. Yeah. I like that.
And she has a sweet jean jacket. Did you notice that?
I don't pay attention to jean jackets.
When they go to school? At the very beginning? She's wearing a sweet jean jacket.
I saw her boyfriend had a leather jacket.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, this is your first time seeing this, right?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I've never seen any movies in the series. When was this? 1984?
Yeah.
Okay. So I assumed it'd be like a lot of other old horror films. You know, a lot of gore, a lot of slashing, a lot of teenagers making dumb mistakes, which all that was pretty true. However, I did also think it would be a lot more, I don't want to say the word cringy or corny, but that's what I thought it would be, a lot more stupid humor and stupid lines. But this one was really nice, and I hope the rest of the series is like this too, for franchise. Because
it's corny.
It seemed like a pretty quality film. There were plenty of scenes where I was actually like, oh wow, that was done really well, and that was surprising.
It's really cool seeing what kind of creative things they come up with for not just the kills, but the whole dreams themselves, the nightmares.
Yeah. That was something that I thought was really cool, was both the dreams and the types of killings. Because when I noticed it was when Nancy was in school right after Tina was killed, and she's just in class, and then she looks over, she sees Tina's dead body
in the body bag.
Yeah, in
that
the body
would
bag.
be really creepy to have in a dream.
And then so she just looks over in there, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then it's like starts following it out the door, the classroom door, and it just kind of that scene keeps going on where she's following this body, and she goes through, there's like puddles on the ground, there's leaves that have fallen that are just in the hallway on the ground, and if you were a normal person, first you wouldn't follow a dead body in a body bag, and you also wouldn't just look at, oh, there's puddles, then there's leaves, and just keep walking. Like, you would understand, like, oh, something is off here, and you try to get out of there immediately. But it just goes to show.
Point it out to someone.
Yeah. But it just goes to show that how we think in dreams, and how dreams are you just kind of do your own thing, and weird things happen all the time, and you just go along with it, and you don't even know. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, the way they designed all the sets, that was really nice too. Whether it be just like the boiler room, or the stuff in the dreams for the high school, or the rooms, yeah, that was all really nice. The killings, those were pretty awesome. Maybe some of the most interesting killings I've seen in horror films. The first one was definitely my favorite one, and like many other people, I thought that Tina, the blonde girl, would be the main character, because that's kind of how it's shown to you. But then, within 20 minutes, Tina gets killed in an awesome way. It's an amazing scene. It's beautiful and perfect. I've never seen anything
Beautiful.
better, personally. Uh, so I really, really liked that scene because it was so different than what I was expecting, and it looked really nice. But Tina, though, was a high schooler, and I think she looked like 35 years old. I don't know how old she really was, but she was not pulling it off very well. Oh, another cool scene was right before that happened. The real main character, Nancy, is sleeping, and there's a crucifix behind her on the wall. And I don't recall if she ends up taking it down or it falls down.
I think it falls.
It falls down, and then you see like Freddy Krueger coming through the wall as if the wall isn't solid, and it's just bending with his hands and his face. And then she starts to wake up, and it retreats back, and then the filmmakers show you that the wall's a hard wall because she goes and takes the cross and hangs it right back up on the wall, the hard wall. So I thought that was a pretty good scene too. So yeah, from the beginning, this movie starts off really well, so you can easily get hooked to it.
Probably my favorite Johnny Depp movie. You see, Johnny Depp was a very young man.
Yes, he was, with interesting outfits. But yeah, I didn't know he was even in that until the movie started. I thought that was nice, like a nice little pleasant surprise for me.
I mean, every time I see Johnny Depp, I just think about him in that death scene. I wish that happened to him in every movie.
Moving on. There was a scene with the main character Nancy, and I think so. The whole goal is to not sleep, at least her and her friends, because they get killed when they do sleep. So you could tell that she was definitely appeared to be sleep deprived in this film. The way she was acting, kind of spacing out and just not really paying attention, not herself. And one of my other favorite scenes, besides the beautiful killing scene, first kill, was Nancy is in the kitchen with her mother, and her mother's kind of still hiding the fact that she is probably the reason why all this is going on to her daughter. But yeah, they're talking, and it's not like a real like angry, like intense thing, but you could tell like the look in Nancy's eyes, like she was just the way I described it to Shadow Man earlier was how if you've ever been to a bar late at night and there's just a guy who's completely drunk, trashed, and really upset, they have just this kind of feel, this kind of vibe to them, and that's what I was getting from her. She just kept walking closer and closer to her mother very slowly with just like an intense look, a deep look in her eye, and I thought that was really strange. But I thought that was a good part of the film, a good scene, because you could see that there was like an actual anger and she was upset. That, and I noticed towards the end that time is really weird, like with the scenes. So she calls her father at 12:10 a.m. Right? So I mean, previously before this,
Yeah.
she tries to get her boyfriend Glenn, Johnny Depp, across the street to meet her at midnight. So I don't recall what time she tells him like this originally.
Yeah, I don't know if it tells you.
But you get to a scene where it's 11:42. Glenn's mother wakes him up to tell him to go to sleep.
When he's already in bed.
When he's already in bed, she tells him to go to bed. And you look over at the clock, it's 11:42, and he's supposed to meet her at midnight. So in this time, like, he wakes up, like, rearranges stuff on his bed, like, and falls asleep, gets murdered. The police and everyone show up there. So at this point, it's 12:10 a.m. The main character, Nancy, her father is I don't know if it's police chief, but he's a police officer.
I think they call him lieutenant.
Okay, so he's a lieutenant, so he's high up there. So she calls him and says, hey, you know, because she lives right across the street, like, hey, it's 12:10. At 12:30, I need you to be at our place, knock down the door, and come arrest this guy. And he still doesn't know what's really going on. He's confused by, I don't know who this guy is, where are you going to get him, like, what is this? So she says all this at 12:10. She starts building all of these traps, these booby traps, you know, Home Alone style.
Home Alone, total ripoff of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Home Alone style. And so there's at least 3 or 4 different traps. One of them, there's an explosive, or what a
she takes
small explosive.
She takes the gunpowder out of shotgun shells.
Was it in the incandescent bulb, the light bulb? Okay, that's what that was. So she builds these things, and then you look down. She's in bed, and she looks at her clock. It's 12:20. Now, in 10 minutes, I can't even take a piss. So I don't know how she creates these 3 booby traps, you know, gets all settled for bed, relaxed. Oh, it's 12:20, and then she sets an alarm for 10 minutes away. But it doesn't make sense because...
And then falls asleep.
And then falls asleep.
And starts dreaming when she has to wake up in 10 minutes with him.
It is, that part's kind of crazy.
They could have just changed the times. They didn't have to make it so tight. Why did they do that?
Yeah, it's...
Like, the police are going to be over at that house for a while.
Yeah, that was the one thing that kind of made me like, come on, movie, what the fuck? But all the rest of it I did really love. I will say that.
I like the one part she's laying down. I don't remember if she's trying to stay awake or if she's trying to make herself have pleasant dreams. But what she's watching on the TV is the movie Evil Dead.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was not a good choice.
Why would you watch that? And, you know, when your friends are being killed.
Yeah. It's probably not something you want to see. Overall, yeah, for me, it was a really good movie. So I am excited to see the rest of the series, to see if it's as good or as bad as Shadow says. But yeah, so far it's a good start, good set design, some pretty decent acting, some clever ideas. So I really liked it.
How many bottles of vodka does that mom have in the house at one time?
A significant amount. There's one hidden everywhere.
Oh yeah, remember that? Alright, so mom's like next to the bed with Nancy, like making sure she falls asleep, and then she walks out, and Nancy pulls out a whole coffee maker and pours herself a cup. Like mom didn't smell the coffee?
Well, that's what I thought too, but then like you see the mom, as she's leaving, she grabs an empty coffee decanter and then like 4 mugs. So maybe they might have had some coffee in there, so she might have assumed like that's where the smells come from. But at the same time, like the smell of old coffee and like freshly brewed coffee on one of those heaters, you're gonna know.
If she's that drunk.
Oh yeah, or she might have been that drunk. That's true too.
The other scene that made me laugh was right when Nancy finds the vase on the window and she goes in and asks her mom about it. The way her mom kind of struts into the frame.
Oh, yeah.
That cigarette, she's such a badass.
It was really weird. Like, I thought she went completely, like, off the deep end.
It was hilarious.
She was, like, in a robe with a cigarette, and it's, like, all dark. She just slowly walks in. Yeah. I didn't think that was where that scene was going to go, honestly. It was a lot more normal than what I expected. Do you have anything else to add to this pleasant film?
No, just making you watch it was a dream come true.
Episode 15, Django Unchained, next.